A reading from the Gospel of Matthew, the 25th chapter, beginning with the 34th verse, going through the 40th. Let us listen to the Word of God. Then the King will say to those at his right hand, "Come, you that are blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry and gave you food, or thirsty and gave you something to drink? And when was it that we saw you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and gave you clothing? And when was it that we saw you sick or in prison and visited you?" And the King will answer them, "Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these, who are members of my family, you did it to me." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Wow, what a day it was for Jesus and his disciples. It all started with his triumphal entry into Jerusalem with shouts of Hosanna and the waving of palm branches. Jesus went directly into the temple courtyard and overturned tables of the money changers, accusing them of turning the house of prayer into a den of thieves. This, of course, created a series of public debates with the scribes and the Pharisees. As the day was slowly coming to an end and dusk was gradually approaching on the horizon, Jesus retreated to the Mount of Olives, and Matthew tells us that his disciples gathered there to meet with him privately. As they sat there overlooking the city, Jesus' enemies were completing plans for his arrest, trial, and execution. The powers of darkness were prevailing. The shadow of the cross was falling across his path. The crowds that had once followed him had long since dispersed. His friends were fearful and powerless, and one of them was planning to betray him. And into the scene on that Mount of Olives, Jesus declared, "When the Son of Man comes in glory, he will sit on his glorious throne, and all the nations will be gathered before him." In the end, Jesus says that we will all be judged. We shall all be judged. Our lives will stand before the judgment seat of God, and we will be made to answer for how we lived, for what we have done, and for what we have not done. And how shall we be judged? What's the criteria for our verdict? The gracious and righteous ruler will answer us. "I was hungry, you gave me food. I was thirsty, you gave me drink. I was a stranger, you welcomed me." Now, I don't know about you this afternoon, but I've always found this passage to be a bit troubling. I would like to think that when the final judgment comes, Christ would number me with the sheep instead of the goats. But when I look honestly at my life, I realize that sometimes I fall short. Sometimes I like to think that I'm a sheep. Sometimes I'm compassionate and caring and helpful to those in need. But I also have to confess that sometimes I'm a goat. I'm an old goat who doesn't take time to care for the needs of those most vulnerable around me. Sure, I have my excuses, and I suspect that you do too. Yet this passage makes us wonder, have we done enough? Where will we stand when we come before the judgment seat of God? As I said, there's something about this parable, something in it that troubles me deeply. But where I stand at final judgment is not the only thing. You see, it's one thing for goats, the unrighteous, who didn't offer food, drink, or welcome to those in need, to ask, Lord, when did we see you? Of course, we expect the unrighteous to be unaware. We expect those outside the fold who have never been to church, never been to Sunday school, didn't go to communicants class, or listen to a sermon, not to know. Most of our people come to church on Sunday morning to listen to a sermon in order to be educated, enlightened, inspired, and informed, to figure out what's right and what's not, what's good and what's evil. After all, we're Presbyterians. We believe in an educated clergy. It's one of the things that separates us from some of the other religious groups. So it's not surprising in the story to hear the unrighteous ghosts scratching their heads in confusion, asking, Lord, when did we see you? Guess what? You should have come to church. Inasmuch as you have done it to the least of these, Jesus says, you've done it to me. Yet here is the truly troubling part. These unrighteous sheep, the people who are gathered into the kingdom and sit on the right hand, the preferred place of honor, they didn't know what they were doing either. The righteous, those who are called blessed, those who are gathered in, are as much unaware as the unrighteous. You see, both the sheep and the goats ask the very same question. Lord, when did we see you? We usually think of our sin, our unrighteousness, in terms of ignorance, confusion, misunderstanding. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't paying any attention. I was up late last night and didn't get enough sleep. I was handling and texting, driving, eating, and so on. Unawareness leads to unrighteousness. But yet here in this judgment story, the righteous are just as unaware as the unrighteous. Who? Me? You? Us? To be honest, I don't even ever remember going to visit you, or clothe you, or give you something to drink. Lord, when did we see you? Their righteous unawareness is a startling contrast for us Presbyterians. We are people in the know. We read. We study. We vote. We think for ourselves. After all, why are we here? So we can know what's going on with God, with the church, with the Presbytery, with the PCUSA. What does all this mean? What's going on? Inquiring minds want to know. Can you see how troubling this story is to those of us gathered here today who are in the business of being in the know? As ruling and teaching elders, we're in the business of disseminating and imparting the knowledge of Christ. We're politically correct people. We've dealt with our racism, our sexism, our materialism, and our place of privilege, right? This last summer at Big Tent in Baltimore, I ran into an old friend of mine. His name is Bill Branch. I called him a couple of weeks ago and he said that I could use his real name, so I am. Bill is a retired executive presbyter from Arkansas Presbytery. Some of you may know him. In any event, I said, hey Bill, how's it going? You enjoying your retirement? He said, no, I flunked it. I said, what's going on? Bill said, he spent 2 weeks this past summer in the border town of Agua Prieta, across from Douglas, Arizona, where Roman Catholic Church offered safety by housing migrants in a section of the church called Centro de Adhesión de Migrante Exodus, CAME, CAME for short. The church is on the Mexico side of the border. Bill said that because migrants are protected at CAME, The cartels have lost a large source of income, so they have threatened to kill the shelter manager and his family. Thanks to a PC USA mission co-worker, Mark Adams, the manager learned about the accompanying program of the Presbyterian Peace Fellowship, PPF. With the support of Presbyterian World Mission, they asked PPF for help. The Presbyterian Peace Fellowship then called for experienced accompaniers to go to Agua Prieta. Since Bill had done it twice before in Colombia, he volunteered to go again. This time, he was going to a Mexican border town to provide a non-violent presence for the migrants as they sought asylum in the United States. Bill pulled out his mobile phone and started showing me picture after picture of what he saw and experienced. His eyes welled up as he showed me pictures of children at play and at prayer and at their mother's side. And mine too, honestly. As an accompanier, Bill would get up at 5 a.m. every morning, cross the border into Mexico, and escort families to public restrooms and bathhouses several times a day. You see, migrants are not allowed to go alone because of the threat of cartels nearby. They could be abducted and forced into drug or human trafficking or worse. As many of us saw in the news this last Monday, a family of 9 women and children were murdered in that area by drug cartels. They arrested the perpetrator yesterday at Agua Prieta. Now, daily, Bill offered them bottles of water, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, hugs and prayers. But mostly he listened to them as they shared their stories of struggle, of fear, and of hope. He welcomed them every morning, and they welcomed him too. One day, Bill told me that a migrant mother of 2 children asked him, "So why are you here?" Bill thought about it and replied, "I'm here to tell you that God loves you and that Jesus is with you no matter what situation you're in." The woman looked at him, smiled, and said, "Gracias, Señor. Gracias." Lord, when did we see you? And the righteous ruler will answer, "Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these who are members of my family, you did it to me." So let me ask you this afternoon, where have you seen the face of Jesus this week? Where might you see him today? Where will you look for him tomorrow? Lord, when did we see you? And the king will answer, just as you did it to one of the least of these.